The story begins on the vast desert world of Arrakis, where golden dunes shimmer intensely under the unrelenting rays of twin suns. This seemingly hostile planet is, in fact, an invaluable treasure due to the presence of the spice melon, a substance that extends life and enhances consciousness. Now, Arrakis becomes the new seat of power for House Atreides. Paul Atreides, the young heir of the family, arrives alongside his mother, Lady Jessica, facing a barren landscape dangerously marked by political intrigue. As House Atreides settles into their new fortress, tensions quickly arise and a sense of unease hangs heavily over everyone. Paul begins to experience vivid and intense dreams of a mysterious Fremen girl. The young woman's piercing eyes, which seem to both attract and warn him, unsettle the young heir's emotional balance. Lady Jessica, meanwhile, swiftly discerns the political dangers behind the Emperor's decision to transfer control of Arrakis to House Atreides. She knows their survival will depend on careful and meticulous strategy. The enemies of House Atreides act from the shadows, plotting chaos. The Harkonnens, former rulers of Arrakis, refuse to relinquish their dominion and prepare a conspiracy to retake control. Secretly, they receive support from the Emperor himself, who manipulates events to destabilize House Atreides and reinforce his own influence. Paul, still unaware of his central role in the conflict, finds himself caught in a deadly web as his journey brings him closer to the mysteries of Arrakis and its unique culture. In response to the instability, Paul plunges into rigorous training. Lady Jessica teaches him Bene Gesserit techniques, including the mysterious power of the voice, which allows control over others through spoken commands. At the same time, Duncan Idaho and Gurney Halleck train him in physical and strategic combat, shaping him into a military leader. Despite his remarkable progress, Paul is plagued by doubt, unable to fully understand the meaning of his dreams and premonitions, which point to an uncertain and burdensome future. The betrayal manifests in a devastating offensive launched by the Harkonnens with the covert support of the Emperor. The attack obliterates House Atreides' forces, leaving Paul and Lady Jessica as fugitives. During the confrontation, Duke Leto sacrifices his life in a bid to protect his family, marking a moment of irreparable loss. Paul and Jessica escape into the vast desert of Arrakis, where they face mortal challenges. This journey becomes a turning point, forcing both to adapt quickly to the planet's relentless conditions. The unforgiving sands of Arrakis conceal both dangers and unexpected allies. Lady Jessica uses her intelligence and skills to protect herself and Paul, overcoming the desert's formidable challenges. Meanwhile, Paul begins to manifest latent abilities that even surprise himself. Prophetic connections to Arrakis and the Fremen people start to surface, suggesting that the young heir will play a crucial role in the planet's destiny. Caught between fear and determination, Paul slowly accepts his growing bond with the desert. While seeking refuge among the Fremen, Paul and Jessica meet Stilgar, a wise and respected leader of the desert people. It is within this community that Paul encounters Chani, the girl who has been haunting his visions. The immediate bond between them deepens quickly, becoming both emotional and strategic. Chani, with her strength and profound connection to Arrakis, inspires Paul to better understand the Fremen and their struggles. He begins to realize that his visions may be more than mere omens, possibly a catalyst for something far greater. To fully integrate themselves, Paul and Jessica undergo challenging rites that test their courage and loyalty. These rituals solidify their position among the Fremen, while Paul emerges as a figure of leadership. His bond with Chani grows, not only as a partnership, but also as a source of strength and inspiration. However, the expectations of the Fremen, fueled by ancient prophecies, create a significant burden for Paul. He feels the increasing responsibility of leadership, even as he struggles to reconcile his internal doubts. Paul begins transforming the Fremen into an organized and efficient military force. Leveraging their intimate knowledge of the desert, he implements strategic tactics to maximize their effectiveness. His growing influence and leadership earn the unwavering respect of the people, who name him Muad'Dib, a messianic figure in their traditions. Now, a warrior leader, Paul starts to see the desert itself as his greatest weapon against the Harkonnens, marking his transformation from an heir into a strategic combatant. As the Harkonnens intensify their exploitation of the spice trade, the Fremen's conditions worsen dramatically. Paul, haunted by visions of war and sacrifice, feels the growing weight of his destiny. Lady Jessica warns him of the risks of becoming a symbol for the Fremen, highlighting the emotional and ethical costs of leading a desperate people. Despite this, Paul remains resolute, convinced that the fight for justice and freedom in Arrakis outweighs any personal doubts. His determination is fueled by prophetic visions and his deepening connection to the desert. The desert of Arrakis becomes more than an environment. It transforms into a powerful ally for Paul. He learns to master the massive sandworms, using them as weapons and transportation. This newfound skill strengthens his position among the Fremen and bolsters his conviction that he can overthrow the Harkonnens. However, the power Paul amasses begins to generate repercussions, as he edges dangerously close to being viewed not only as a leader, but as an almost divine figure, inspiring both reverence and fear. As the Fremen become a powerful and organized force, Paul leads his army in preparation for the final confrontation. Chani, ever at his side, plays a vital role, providing emotional and strategic support. The imminence of battle brings difficult decisions and inevitable sacrifices. Paul understands that victory over the Harkonnens and the Emperor requires more than military strength. It demands absolute commitment to Arrakis' future and a promise of a better life for the Fremen. The final battle erupts in chaos and strategy across the sands of Arrakis. Paul leads the Fremen in a daring assault on the Harkonnen fortress, using sandworms as powerful weapons to destabilize the enemy. The fight is brutal, but the training and determination of the Fremen prevail. Paul confronts the Emperor, challenging his authority and declaring himself the rightful ruler of Arrakis. Despite the triumph, victory comes with devastating losses, leaving Paul reflective about the price he has paid for freedom. With the Harkonnens defeated and the Emperor deposed, Paul is hailed as a hero by the Fremen and the people of Arrakis. However, the joy of victory is tempered by the memory of the losses endured. Paul's visions continue to haunt him, suggesting that the peace he has achieved may only be temporary. With Chani and Lady Jessica by his side, Paul finds solace, but knows his journey is far from over. He is now both a symbol of hope and a leader, bearing the weight of an uncertain future. In the story's conclusion, Paul sits on the throne of Arrakis, his gaze fixed on the infinite desert horizon. He embraces his destiny as Muad'Dib, fully aware that his ascension has permanently altered the fate of his family and the planet. Arrakis, with its riches and mysteries, has become both his responsibility and his burden. As he contemplates what lies ahead, Paul reflects on the lasting impact of his leadership, knowing that the legacy of House Atreides will be forever etched into the eternal dunes of the desert.